Running Back Nation, what is good? Sixers, sickos, what is good? It is football Sunday, and I am so much a sicko that I saw something related to the Sixers, and I am making a video on it on football Sunday. Real sicko behavior. And if you're here listening, watching this, you are, in fact, a sicko. We're going to talk about something Draymond Green said, and I want to give you my opinion, and I want to know if you agree or disagree, okay? What something Draymond Green said about Paul George playing for the Sixers this upcoming season. And then we have Hoops Hype top 25 NBA players for this upcoming season. And, I want your opinion on where certain Sixers players are on that list. Before we get into that, this is brought to you by BetUS. We're over on the BetUS website, and we are betting on another NBA special. The NBA specials over there are really cool. There's lots of different things you could do. Specifically, the number 2 seed for 24-25 season. I already predicted the Philadelphia 76ers will be behind the Boston Celtics if healthy. Of course, I would love for them to be number 1, but just in my realistic prediction, if Boston continues or repeats how they were playing last year, the Sixers will be number 2. And they're a plus 375 to be number 2. So why not throw some money on that? All right, 20 to pull out 75. You can get 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 over on BetUS using promo code YouTube150. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Now here's what Draymond Green said. And I agree and I disagree. Okay, Draymond Green says Philly fans will destroy Paul George if he doesn't play well. You know why they're going to crush Paul George if he plays there? Draymond said, if he doesn't play well, because they already got a nasty taste in their mouth from their last 3 that they had. They never felt like he brought it. So that's why Paul George better play well. And he also said Philly fans are harder on their own team than they are the opposition. And I mean, that's true, but isn't that anytime somebody talks about the Philadelphia fan base in this context, I'm just like, isn't that what being a fan is? Philadelphia fans want their team to play well more than they hate the other team. Wow, shocker. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the fact that some of these fan bases, especially some of the more nationally televised fan bases like Miami and LA, the fans don't give a shit. So, like, that's what fandom has become. So then a city like Philly or New York or Boston, they look like psychopaths because they actually care. They show up to every game and they get mad when overpaid players act like divas and don't try hard. This is normal fan. Philly fans is what fandom is. Not that other shit. But anyway, if Paul George doesn't play well, Philly fans are going to crush him. I don't know what he means by this. Like, doesn't play well over the course of an entire playoff series? Yeah, of course. Yeah. But he would have to play terrible for that to happen, and I'm going to show you why. Say the Sixers lose a playoff series this upcoming season, and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid both average 30 points per game, and Paul George absolutely stinks it up for 6 straight games and they lose. Yes, Philly fans are going to be ripping Paul George a new one because he just signed a max contract and all these other things, which I like how much pressure that puts on him. You know what I'm saying? The way that he sounded after the Clippers lost in his post-game press conference, it sounded like he didn't care that much. It did. But it's because I don't think he felt much pressure in LA. It's just LA. Plus, you're the Clippers. You're not even the Lakers. Nobody gives a shit. You know? So I like the amount of pressure that is on Paul George playing for the Sixers. I think that's going to bring a higher competitive spirit out of him than he already has. And I'm not saying he doesn't have a competitive spirit, but it's going to bring a little bit more out of him, I think, with that, putting that amount of pressure on himself. The It left a nasty taste in their mouth from the last 3 that they had. Yeah, Tobias Harris. Breaking news. Fans get mad when a max player averages 9 points in a playoff series. So, with that being said, again, we don't need Paul George to be a team-leading star. We don't need him to be a 30-point-per-game superstar. We need Paul George to be better than Tobias Harris. So, the way Clippers fans were talking about what Paul George did in the playoffs, it's because Kawhi Leonard wasn't there and Paul George was then relied upon to be the number 1 leader, and I just don't think he's that at this stage of his career. So it got amplified as, oh my God, playoff P is back and he's stunk up the joint. But really, when you look at the numbers, it's not that crazy. And so let's just compare Paul George's playoff numbers last year to Tobias Harris's playoff numbers last year. And if he can just do that, that's what we signed him for. Look, Paul George last year in the playoffs. He had 22. The first 2 games against Dallas, 40% from the field, 50% from the field, 33 from 3, 40% from 3. Game 3, bad one. 7 points in 30 minutes. He shot 27% from the field, 3 for 11, and 16% from 3, 1 for 6. That's a bad game. Everybody gets a bad game. Then he had 33 points the next game on 57 and 70% from 3, 7 for 10. Then he had 15 and 18 in 2 closeout or 2, game 5 and 6, which could have swung the series. So that gets blown up because he didn't drop 33 or 40 in those games that would have beat the Dallas Mavericks. But again, he was relied upon to be the leader and the superstar, and I don't think he's that anymore in his career. I think he's a very, very good number 2 or number 3. So if Kawhi was healthy, it would have been a different story. But with the Sixers, if he can put up these numbers, just these numbers, that's great. 18, 11, and 5. 18, 11, and 5. On, the percentages were bad. 6 for 18, 2 for 10 from 3, 2 for 6 from 3. The percentages were bad. 30% from the field, 33% from the field. Those were not good shooting games. But when you have Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid averaging 30 points apiece like they did in the New York Knicks playoff series, 18, 11, and 5, 15, 11, and 4, that's serviceable as a number 3. At the end of the day, you need him to be better than this guy, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris averaged 9 points per game in the playoffs against the New York Knicks. He had 7, 10, 8, 10, 19, and a big fat goose egg in Game 6. 0 for 4 from the field. No, he didn't even shoot the ball 4 times. He shot the ball 2 times. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. He didn't get up a single 3-point attempt. He was absolutely embarrassing. He wasn't even bad in the Knicks series. He was embarrassing in the Knicks series. And again, of course, these last 2 games against Dallas is not the best Paul George. The shooting percentages were bad, but it's still 18, 11, and 5, 15, 11, and 4. A lot better than 0. We just need Paul George to be a good number 3, man. That's it. And the rest of the Sixers team is better now. But if Paul George can just be this version of Paul George, 22, 22, 7, 33, 15, 11, 18, 11, that's enough for what the Sixers need him for. And I think he'll probably be better than these numbers because he's not relied upon to be the superstar team leader and carry a team on his back or anything like that. But there's my take on that. So I agree and disagree, I guess, with Draymond Green on the comments that he made. Give me your thoughts on that. And before we get out of here, Hoops Hype top 25 players in the NBA for this upcoming season. And look, they got Joel Embiid at number 5. Now, we all know the last 2 years, when Joel Embiid is healthy, he is far and away the best player in the entire NBA. It's actually not even close. Look at the runs that he goes on in December and January when he's healthy. These are not just MVP numbers. These are historical numbers. Talking Wilt Chamberlain numbers when the guy's healthy in the middle of the season. So if healthy, Joel Embiid is number one. I mean, what are we doing here? Nikola Jokic, why is he always number one? Why is he always number one, bro? Why is he always number one? Denver didn't do shit last year. Why is Nikola Jokic always number one? Why is it just we go into every NBA season, we're like, well, Nikola Jokic is number one. Why? Somebody tell me why. He's great, yes, at what he does, yes, but why is he automatically number one all the time? It doesn't make sense. He didn't even have the advanced numbers last year that Nuggets fans used to use in the arguments for him to win MVP over Joel Embiid 3 years ago when Joel should have won it the first time, where it was like VORP and Raptor and player efficiency rating, all this bullshit. He didn't even have that last year. Joel Embiid had a higher player efficiency rating, and Nikola Jokic still number one. I could rant about this forever, but I do like this. Tyrese Maxey, number 15. And look, they have him ahead of Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, who 4 years ago I said we should have traded Tyrese Maxey for Donovan Mitchell, and here we are. He's better, or at least according to HoopsHype. You can have an opinion on that. Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP, 18. Ja Morant, I don't understand this one. If healthy, Ja Morant's way better than that, so that doesn't make much sense. Damian Lillard's all the way down at 21, another guy that people wanted to trade Tyrese Maxey 4 years ago. So I'm just saying that Tyrese Maxey being 15 on this list is kind of what we all were hoping for, after his first 2 years in the league, and I think he has arrived, and it's amazing that he's getting the recognition he's getting now. Tyrese Halliburton being number 12, I don't know about that so much. Who else? Jalen Brunson, number 8. Yeah, sure, bro. If the referees give him every slide cancel call, but they got Tyrese Maxey at 15. I just wanted to say that I like the fact. I'm really proud and happy of the fact that Tyrese Maxey is getting that recognition. And again, I've said it a million times, but I think this is going to be a massive season for Tyrese Maxey. I think it's going to be. I mean, he takes a leap forward every year. This year, we could be talking about MVP votes for Tyrese Maxey. We really could. Let me know what you think of this list, by the way. Zion Williamson, when healthy, 22? That's crazy. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. I'll talk to you guys very soon. I'm out.